Evening, everyone. It's 6:32, and I'm coming up from the beach just long enough to get this done today. Let's just go with the chart on the screen because we actually made some money on this one today. This is the bonds, which broke, rallied up to the falling 200-day, came down a point and a half yesterday, and another full point and a quarter today, closing down here at 124.01. We have the TBT calls. We took about 50% out of the first half. We still have the second half, and they're roughly 100% up. So this is a good trade, and I'm very pleased about it. There were plenty of numbers today. I went over most of them this morning. But the big surprise was the payrolls by ADP at almost 500,000 jobs added versus 220,000 expected. Then we had the claims, and claims were actually 248, which was only up about 12 versus 245 that was expected. And continuing claims 1,720,000, that was down 13. There were none, not a single one of my 14 sectors higher today. Um, the Dow at its low was down about 510. It finished down 366, which is only 1.07. The NASDAQ actually closed pretty close to on its high, down 112 after being down double that, down 225, only down 0.82%. And the internals were not great, but they weren't horrendous either. At some point during the day, there were only one or two of the S&P 500 stocks up. The S&P, by the way, had a low of down 62 and closed down 35. But really, what was impressive were the transports, which closed pretty much on the high of the day, down 126 after being down 254. As I said, 3-1 down in the NASDAQ, but closing on the high, down 225 to down 112. And the one that obviously got hurt the most, biggest loser on the day, as was yesterday, was the Russell, down $31 and change, or 1.64%. As far as the sectors, the one that I found the most interesting were the mega caps. There were only two of them that were up at all, and Apple was one of those, and it was only up 35 cents. Microsoft was up 302. That was the biggest gainer. And besides that, we had Meta introducing Threads this morning. And that stock was up initially, up about $5.50. It actually could not hold on and finished down about $4. We had Nvidia down 860, or just under 2%. We had Chipotle down 31, or just 1.5%. We had Tesla down 2.6%, which was $7.40. But the impressive part of it was that the XLK, which is what I use as the ETF for those mega caps, was only down 0.6%, actually 0.65% of a percent in those. So also volume much higher. Yesterday's volume, with a pretty hectic day, was 5.3. Today's was 6.1. The gold came down $11 and change on higher interest rates, as did the silver, down a half a dollar. Oil was actually up 1 penny, which is what it's up tonight after being lower. Bitcoin down 165, not really much of anything. As I said, the bonds were down 1.25, which is a huge move for them. And the dollar, which I would have thought might move up on demand for those greenbacks, with higher interest rates was actually down 17 cents, 102.87, down 17. Also, another one of our positions, Teva, TEVA. Everybody knows it's a favorite of mine. It's written up in the weekly letter every day. It was recommended by UBS today, and even in a down market, it actually was never down on the day. It closed at 786, up 37 cents or just under 5%. It wasn't a massive upgrade, and it only went from being a sell to being a neutral, but it was on the high of the day, and it was also twice as much as average daily volume. Um, as far as tomorrow, we have, let's see, we have all of the June employment information tomorrow, 8:30. That means non-farm payrolls, which the consensus is 220, down from 339 prior. Non-farm private payrolls, which is consensus is 210. The prior was 283. Average daily hours average hourly earnings. I'm sorry. Consensus is up 3/10, and that would be just in line with last month. Unemployment rate 3.6 versus last month's 3.7, and average work week 34.3 versus 34.3. So we'll have to see what that looks like. And we'll also have, U6, we'll have the underemployment, we'll have labor participation, all bundled into that. And that is it. By the way, the JOLTS, the job opening, came down. It was 10,320,000 last month, and this month, 9,824,000. So jobs are getting filled, and according to ADP, which I kind of like better because they're actually doing payrolls, um, a big gain there. So I'll be back first thing in the morning, and that'll be it for the week. Hope everyone had a good day today. I will be back in the morning.